Our next panel is on the subject of AI and how AI, artificial intelligence, is changing our lives and also revolutionizing the medical world. So I'd like to acknowledge our sponsor for this event, Sean Hauer. Sean, would you come to the stage? So just as AI has a role in improving health outcomes, Sean Hauer, the owner of Osteo Park Avenue, his mission at Osteo is to help members live stronger, happier, healthier lives with a focus on building bone health, strength, and balance. So can you tell us a little bit about the story of Osteo?
Fantastic. So I was updating some statistics this morning on my favorite app, ChatGPT, because I looked at some numbers a few years ago, and it was remarkable how much they've changed. And the big thing that we do at OsteoStrong, the number one thing, is help people with osteoporosis or osteopenia. Interesting statistic, 50% of women over 50 have either osteoporosis or osteopenia. 80% of them are undiagnosed. They have no idea they have it. Most of them not until they break or fracture a bone. I only have a minute or two, so real quickly, what do we do at OsteoStrong? So the best way to describe what we do is most of us don't realize that from the time all of us are born until around the age of 30, we're making new bone. Our bones are regenerating. After the age of 30, that stops, and every one of us will lose about 1% of their bone density over the rest of their lives. If you're losing that faster, osteopenia, even faster, osteoporosis. The only way to know that is to get either a DEXA scan or a REMS eco-like test. What do we do at OsteoStrong? We have 4 pieces of machine that focus on each part of your skeletal system, and those machines trigger your bones to start regenerating again naturally, just like they did before you turned 40, or 30, I mean. So when we get your bones regenerating again, it starts making your muscles stronger. You only need to come into our center 1 time a week, and it literally takes no more than 15 minutes. You do each machine 1 time, it's not repetitions. Your bones are triggered. The medical term is called osteogenesis. That lasts in your body for about 7 days. You come back in, do it over again. Tremendous thing that we do is the first thing people see results in is their balance. The last thing that I'll just mention quickly, a lot of people don't like doing the DEXA scans because it's a little bit outdated. It's 60-year-old technology, and it comes with a good amount of radiation. We also offer in our center on the 3rd Wednesday of every month a new technology called a REMS eco-like. You can look it up. It's on our website. It's much, much better, much more thorough than a DEXA scan, and it's really tremendous, and people are enjoying it. So.
And now we're going to start our next segment with Ronnie Jenkins, who's going to do this interview in 2 parts. So Ronnie Jenkins, our moderator, is an award-winning digital marketing and communications leader. She currently serves as Public Relations Officer and Special Events Director for the City of Glen Cove. She is also a partner and managing director of the 3 Tomatoes. Her work increasingly intersects with emerging technologies, including AI and the integration of AI in both government and marketing communications. Our special guest, Megan Harnett. Megan is a dynamic leader at the forefront of AI-driven transformations, challenging the status quo in technology, finance, and talent acquisition. With 15 years of experience across hedge funds, private equity, and crypto wealth management, she has leveraged AI to reshape industries. She is passionate about the intersection of AI and the future of AI in the workplace.
we want to make this really fun and interactive. Megan obviously has a tremendous amount of experience, 15 years working in technology. She is the chief operating officer of a company called Find'em, which uses AI to help employees find better qualified candidates. But the first thing we wanted to do is get some feedback from you guys here. How many of you use AI? Show of hands. Wow. I am impressed. Okay, maybe I'll do, how many of you don't use AI? Have you never used it? Okay. I will guarantee you that you think that you don't use it, but you have in your life. Have you ever used a navigation system on your phone? Right? Have you used Waze, Google Maps, anything? AI. Have you used your face to log into your phone? You've all used AI. Anyone go to Netflix and it has recommended by you? You've used AI. Okay, so we want to make this fun and to let you know that AI is easy, and if you don't start using it and incorporating it, you're really letting this tremendous opportunity go by. So it can save you time, make smarter decision, and it can help make your life more fun. So I'm going to turn it over to Megan, who's going to show you some real world examples of what you guys can do. And this is my ChatGPT. I have a paid version because I use it every single day in my job. But you don't have to do the paid version. You can use these tools, and there's so many out there. And I really would encourage you guys to go out there and play with them and find them. And take it away, Megan.
Yeah, I think if you take anything away from today is think of it as your kind of creative partner. To increase your creativity and the things that you can do in this world. And it's a creative tool. And I'll give a little kind of like background as to like how I made it here today. And if you asked me a year ago and told me that I'd be on stage with a children's book that I published, I would say you were crazy. But here I am. And AI helped me do this.
Shout out Three Tomatoes Publishing. You guys can talk about it upstairs.
That's right. And so I went to go vote in the last election with my 5-year-old daughter. She saw me get emotional voting for potentially our first female president. And when I had to tell her that she did not win, I was like, how can I use this as a teaching moment to instill resilience and perseverance? And I was like, you know what, I wish there was a children's book that kind of spoke to this moment in time. And I went to ChatGPT and I was like, is there a book like this that exists? They gave me some options, but I was like, I wonder if I can create it. And we happened to, when we were voting, take her class pet snails, her kindergarten class pet snails, with us to vote. That was my inspiration for Snaily Braveheart, and I put in these just fun ideas, and it came up with this beautiful story that I kind of massaged and edited along the way, and I was like, this is good, and I want to read this to her. So I did. I had ChatGPT turn it into a book, and then I went to Midjourney and I created the images and the illustrations for the book, and I printed it just to kind of have this fun thing to do. I did it in a few days. So I mean, that's the incredible power of the technology that we have today. You can have one idea and put it in and start playing with it and start playing with the actionable items that we talked about earlier. All of the tools are there today to kind of make your ideas happen. So I want this to be about your time and answer your questions on maybe the best ways to use ChatGPT. They're always rolling out new stuff, so staying on top of it is a challenge in itself, but you can ask it. So I don't know if
I'm going to present something because Sonia talked a lot about motivation and what is stopping you back. And I think we can use ChatGPT here to help that. So does anyone want to volunteer and maybe give us an idea of what is holding you back, and maybe ChatGPT can help you realize that goal? Anyone? All right, chatgpt.com. It is chatgpt.com. ChatGPT.com. It is very, very, very easy to use, very simple. You'll see the prompt there, just like a Google search, and Megan's going to type in some things. Megan also mentioned Midjourney. That's another AI operation. There are tons. There's Microsoft Copilot, there's Claude, there's a whole bunch of names there, and you guys can look those up, but this is so simple and so easy to use. I would definitely encourage all of you guys to do that. So let's give an example. So we talked about saving time. I'm sorry, what's your name? Nancy, what is it that you want to accomplish, and maybe what is holding you back? We're going to take it from Sonia's motivational speech there. Nancy wants to ask ChatGPT, how do I start investing in the stock market for women?
Not how do I start, it's actually,
How to create a document.
I want to create a document about a specific investment strategy.
Okay, great, a specific investment strategy. And one thing to note is your answers are going to be as good as what you put into it, right? So that's pretty generic. Like anyone who's gone to a Google search in New York City, if you just write, give me New York City restaurants, what do you get? Right, like thousands. So the more specific, like Nancy just said, she wants to create a document on how to invest in the stock market for women over 50 with IPOs,
Free
free
IP,
IPOs.
very specific.
Yeah, very specific. So like the New York City restaurant, if you want an Indian restaurant in Midtown, you would type that into your Google search, right? So just remember that when you're using ChatGPT.
Right, because many of them don't even know about it. They don't understand it, they're alternative investments, so to speak. I want to create this document.
Okay, Megan, you think you need anything else here?
Now let's see
Or-
what
All right.
it comes up with.
And I'm going to let Megan explain what we see here.
Yep, so what it's doing is kind of like making you think a little bit more in depth about this to make, the best document that you can. So it's asking you, what do you want the tone and style to be? What do you want the length and format to be? What sections to consider including? I wouldn't have thought about what will be the call to action that you want in that document? What do you want people to do after they read this?
Got it, this is great.
Yeah, and so it was just kind of exactly what you said. I want to create a document about a specific investment strategy about pre-IPO investing for women over 50. Yeah, and so, you would continue having this conversation, continue building it out.
Okay, great. So that was a very complicated example. Do you have an example you want to ask?
Volunteer my neighbor. She's written a great book on findings for single women who don't have men. So the question she would probably ask is, how do you find, what's the best way to meet single men in New York City?
And I do have to say, and Megan and I were talking about this a little bit, ChatGPT isn't always right. So it may tell you the Home Depot, and it doesn't work on a Friday night. I've tried it, girl. No, I'm kidding. But over 60, very, very specific. But you do have to be careful with ChatGPT because it doesn't always come out with something, so you may have to drill back a little bit.
But I hope what you guys are taking away from this is fun. Have the conversation, ask the questions that you're curious about.
Right, so that's an example. Megan, I want to talk about in your career, your company focuses on specifically how to match up companies with the best prospects. So that's using it for smarter decisions. Why don't you talk a little bit how it can help us with these smarter decisions and make it fun?
Yeah, so traditional kind of Google search base, you're doing a keyword search. So you're there, it's connecting certain words with then certain words on another web page. And what Find'em AI does, the company that I work for, we believe that there's more to connecting people with work than just keywords. So you go on LinkedIn, you're looking for a program manager, it's going to show you all the profiles that have program manager listed on there. But there's more to that. There's more to the person, there's more to the company, and what is being asked of the person to do other than their daily tasks. You can think of values. What type of work style do you want? And that takes more than just a page of a resume. That takes more than just a short job description. And so we have these tools available to us to be able to do the searches on infinite levels of data, and really narrow down into the kind of like unique individual people that you want to be working with, or you want to be joining your company. So instead of doing a LinkedIn search just on skills that people have on their resumes, you can input a pages long description of who exactly you're looking for, and we are kind of like pulling together all of that data and creating these robust profiles to connect these matches. And connect you directly with people. It's Find'em AI, based on the West Coast. We're Series B right now. But yeah, I mean, it's incredibly powerful, and how we then think about potentially a resume-free world where you have like a robust data profile on everything you've done in your educational career, everything you've done outside of work that can be considered to match you with a company that matches your values and what you want to do. And so it is really powerful, and we're going to see a lot of transformation in kind of like these spaces.
So let's talk about a couple of, Sonia, you have a question?
I want to echo for Cheryl, because I just learned about it. And you know how you have SEO, right? They also now have ChatGPT search optimization. Because I had a friend who's a lawyer, and he does a lot of podcasts, but when they asked a legal question on what he did, he actually came up, videos of him responding came up on ChatGPT. So you can start to play with that too if you want to
Yep.
be more optimized on ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you can treat this like Google. It is a better
Really is.
Google. It does hallucinate, but it's because it's more unstructured data. But that is how I use it.
Yeah, and one of the examples, and tune into the Three Tomatoes, we're going to be doing a monthly column on this of everyday things. We just published one on plant identification. So my friend just bought a house, and she didn't know if she was pulling weeds or daisies. She didn't know what was planted there, and we used ChatGPT and the search function just by taking a photo to identify that was a daisy, and she did not pull it out. So.
Yep. And
Yeah.
I recently used it. I created a project, and you can use it for interior design. I uploaded a picture of my living room and said, using everything that I already have, what would you suggest I do? And like the paint color was incredible. And my husband's like, stop doing that, because, but it's amazing, and it's beautiful.
Okay, great. Unfortunately, we have to wrap it up. I'm sorry. We could take questions after. Thank you, Megan. Thank
Yep,
you for
and
being here.
I'm on LinkedIn if anybody wants help or